Hello Mushkins, and in this video I'm going to be showing you step by step how you can make your very own charms out of resin, and I'm also going to be showing you how to make your very own molds to make these charms. And I have done a tutorial like this before, but I decided to do another one because I've learned a few new little skills with my charm making over the past few months. And as some of you may know, on Instagram I often post little charm making sessions on our story, so as a lot of you know, I really do enjoy it, so I'm so excited to be sharing another tutorial with all of you. So in order to start making your charms, you will need to either buy a mold, and these molds you can buy anywhere. You can just Google resin molds, or you can make your very own mold if you have some really unique charms that you would like to replicate. So if you want to make your own charm, you'll just need a little cookie cutter or anything that will form the boundary of the mold, and then you'll need to go and find a few charms and things that you would like to replicate. So when you are choosing charms to try and replicate, you'll need to take a few things into consideration. You'll need to get charms that have a flat surface so that you can make a really nice simple 2D mold. If you have a round charm that you would like to replicate or make a mold of, just keep in mind that you'll have to make a 3D mold for that, and for that please Google a different tutorial. This tutorial doesn't have any 3D molds in it because I haven't tried it personally, but I'm really excited to try it in the future. So when you are choosing charms, just make sure that you get something that's nice and flat and not too high, because otherwise your mold is going to have to be a really thick one, and then you end up using a lot of silicone. So here, for example, we have a jelly bean charm, and I have tried to make jelly bean molds before, but it's just really difficult because it doesn't have a flat surface. This charm, for example, you could make a mold out of because it has a flat surface, and these ones are really tall, so you'll have to make a really deep mold for this one. So it just takes too much product if you want to make a mold out of those cylindrical tubes. And this one, for example, is really cute, but it doesn't have a flat surface at all, so it'll just be really difficult to make a mold out of. And then these ones, for example, have a really nice flat surface, so you could easily make a mold out of these and replicate them with resin. So to start making your little homemade mold, you will have to take a few pieces of tape and flatten it on a surface, and this is quite difficult to do. I've done it so many times, so I've gotten the hang of it. And then you just need to put your little cookie cutter on there, and then what I like doing is I like placing all my little charms that I would like to replicate inside of the mold, and then just make sure that it's nicely stuck down onto the sellotape so that it doesn't move around when you pour in your silicone. And that's actually why we use sellotape. We've tried to use other things to try and stick it down, but nothing really works as well as the sellotape. And then before we can start pouring in our silicone, what we like doing is putting a little edge of glue on the side with our hot glue gun so that the silicone doesn't pour out from underneath the little cookie cutter edge. And here is the brand that we use to make our molds. I will be linking all of these products in the description of this video, so go and have a look over there if you are interested in making your very own molds. And what I like about this product, for example, is that it's a ratio of 1:1. So you just pour 1 spoon of the one liquid with another spoon of the other liquid, the exact same. It just makes things very easy when you are making molds and resin charms. And then when you are pouring the mixture into your mold, just make sure that you pour it very slowly into one little spot of the mold, and then let it gradually seep through to the rest of your little cookie cutter edge, because then you won't get all of these unnecessary bubbles and things forming in the mold. And here we have 2 examples of molds that I have bought from different shops. And the thing that I don't like about store-bought molds is that they often make the charms come out quite opaque, so they've got this powdery layer on them, and I'm sure you can fix that with some type of glaze, but I haven't found a place to buy a glaze yet. So if you have any suggestions, please let me know. And then these are examples of molds that I have made in the past, and then often to get the crystal clear result that I'm looking for, I make replicants of molds that I bought. So that's what you can see there with the giant giant mermaid tails. So I've made so many different charms and molds in the past, and this is my half of my little collection that I have. And then often I can't really find charms or different molds for things that I want to make. So what we do is we actually take real food and we make molds out of that. So this mold is actually made out of real gummy worm sweets, and then this is actually a mold that we made out of real Ferrero Rocher chocolates and little Aero blocks of chocolates. So you can actually make molds out of actual food as long as it has a flat surface on the one edge. And then once you are happy with your store-bought mold or the mold that you made yourself, you can start with the actual resin making. And for that, you will need to buy some resin, and this you can buy from a bunch of different places. I will link with one or two places in the description of this video if you want to go buy. And what I like about this particular brand is that it is a 1-to-1 ratio, which means that the one liquid needs to be the exact same amount that you mix together with the other liquid, and that is very easy to understand because you don't have all these funny ratios of 3-to-1, etc. And then in order to make your charms, you will just need to work on a nice clean surface and on a surface that you don't mind getting dirty, which is why I work on this little craft board. And then you will also need some gloves because the resin can get really sticky and it's not nice to have on your hands. And then you will just need some mixing sticks and then little mixing cups. I like buying these little plastic ones that I clean afterwards and reuse. But I've also seen lots of people using silicone cups, which is really awesome because you can just push out the hardened resin after you've used it. Then one of my favorite things about charm making is the creativity behind it. So I love collecting different glitters and pigments that I can use in my charms. And then for this video, I also decided to go and get a few flowers from my garden because I wanted to try and put some flowers in a little charm. So I decided to go and get that, and that's just the fun part about resin making is you can literally put anything into the resin to make your charms. So you will just need some cotton roll. I like putting that on the surface so that if it spills, I can just wipe it down. And then you need to mix equal parts of the two liquids and mix them together for 3 minutes or until the liquid is clear again. And then you can just wait for the bubbles to disappear a tiny bit, and it just helps with the end product. So you just wait for the bubbles to disappear a little bit, and then you can start adding all of your glitters and decoration and pour it into your molds. And I absolutely love watching resin charm making. So for the duration of this video, I will just be showing off how I made different charms. And then I will also be taking them out of the molds later on in the video, which I find so satisfying. And then if you are just here for slime videos, scroll to the very end of this video and I'll be making a few different slimes inspired by the different charms that I made. And these flowers that I found were so pretty, and I was so excited to add it to the mold. But once I started heating up the resin to try and get all the bubbles out, the flowers ended up turning yellow. So I don't think it was such a good idea to use fresh flowers. So in the future, I will definitely try and get hold of some dried up flowers. I think that will work a lot better. And then just remember that once you are done making your charms, you will just need to let them set for 12 to 24 hours just so that the resin can harden. And then once you are done pouring the resin into the different molds, you can take a heat gun, or you can even just use your breath and blow on the mold to try and get all of the little bubbles out of the resin, because otherwise you'll get bubbles in your charms when you take them out. So I like taking a heat gun and then I just heat the mold a little bit, but try and keep the heat gun about 30 centimeters away from the actual resin, because otherwise everything will get really, really liquidy and it will just spill everywhere. One of my favorite types of resin charms to make is our gummy bear charms, and I love doing it because it's so creative and I can use different pigments and glitters and Fimo slices. It just all looks so cute, and as a lot of you may know, I'm so obsessed with them because I keep posting them on Instagram, and we actually sell these handmade charms on our website. You can just go have a look at mushslime.com if you are interested in buying any of our charms. I will have a direct link to our website in the description of this video. And then one of my favorite things to do with the gummy bear charms, but it takes so much time, is to actually take little glitters or little Fimo slices and then to add it to the gummy bear charms, because it just looks so cute when you take them out of the molds when they've hardened and it shines through the clear gummy bear. It is so cute. And then ever since I started showing off our handmade gummy worm charms, I've been getting a lot of requests to make a 2-color gummy worm charm, and I decided to do that with pink and yellow paint, and then to try and make a double color worm gummy. And this was really difficult to do, and it's the first time that I've tried it, and I'm so happy with how they turned out. They look so cute and delicious. And then after a resin charm making session, my station is always so dirty because of all the glitters lying around and the little cups that had resin in them. So I always try and clean them out to try and save as many of the plastic as possible. And the way you can do this is take some Q-Tex remover or acetone and some cotton wads, and then you can just rub out the liquid resin on the inside. And try and do this before it hardens, because I think it will be a little bit impossible to clean it out once it gets really hard, unless you have a silicone cup that you do your mixing in. And then here we have my mold that I made at the start of this video, and you need to leave these things to set for about 12 to 24 hours, so it takes a really long time for the silicone and the resin to harden. And I'm really happy with how this mold turned out. It looks so pretty, and everything, all the little gummy bear charms came out very nicely. I find time-lapse videos of resin charm making really satisfying to watch, so I decided to include another little clip like that in this video. And then once your charms are ready, you don't necessarily just need to use them for slime or slime making. You can actually use them to make your very own jewelry. And I really enjoyed this. I went to the bead shop and I bought a bunch of little things that I can use to make my little gummy bear charms into earrings or into necklaces. So I took a tiny little drill and I drilled tiny little holes at the top of the gummy bear charms, and then I used these little loopy things and some super glue, and I turned it into a little pendant charm that you can hang onto a bracelet or a earring or a necklace. And I'm so happy with how they turned out. They are so adorable, and I'm so excited to wear my little earrings out and to wear the ones that change color when it comes into contact with sunlight. So I'm really, really excited for these, and you can easily do this at home if you make your own charms or if you buy charms online. It's so much fun and so creative as well. And then here we have the moment that I think a lot of you have been waiting for. This is so satisfying, and I will be demolding all of the charms that I made throughout this video, and it's just so satisfying to listen to. I am so happy with how all of my charms turned out, especially my gummy bear charms. They are just my favorite, and they are so cute and sparkly and pretty. You can just be so creative. And on our website you can buy these charms and you get a random pack of 3 little gummy bear charms. They could be glow in the dark, or they could be sparkly or holographic. It's really a nice little surprise when you order this little pack of gummy bear charms, and each one is made with a lot of love and attention to detail. They are so cute. And then to end off this video, I just wanted to use some of the charms that I made in this video and design a few bingsu bead slimes with them. So enjoy the crunch in the next few videos. And I will be posting these videos on Instagram as well. So if you have any name suggestions for these slimes, please go and comment them on our Instagram page at Mushy Slime. thank you so much for watching this video, and I really hope that you enjoyed seeing this new and improved resin art tutorial, and I hope that it inspires you to make your very own charms. And again, if you are interested in buying any of our gummy bear charms, make sure to go and have a look at our website mushslime.com if you are interested in buying, and then remember to use code YouTube for 10% off your entire purchase.